And hello everyone, welcome back to another CSS tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be taking a look at styling tables. One thing you've heard me say a lot in the past is that default HTML tables just kind of suck. It's not really nice working with them. They don't look nice after you work with them. So you always need to use a library such as Bootstrap or add your own styling to make it look good, because this just sucks. We have our names, we have our job, we have our pay. Now I'm just going to go here, select the table itself, and let's make it easier immediately. 1px, there's border of course, 1px solid, and then let's go back. Take a look at that. Now we know this is inside of a table. We can use th to also select table headers. So this will select both tables and table headers. So now they're also selected. And if we were to add the td, so now it's selecting the table headers, and the td. And it looks like this. So now it's already 10 times easier to understand. Now for those of you who don't quite understand this part, basically what's happening is we're doing this. This one can just be td, this one can just be th, and this one can just be table. That's what we did, we just did it in one line. So by doing that, we don't need to put 3 there, we just have to put 1 here. Anyhow, let's just go back to selecting the table. Another thing you can also do is set the width, and I'm just going to go here and say table th and td, and border 1px solid black. Okay, so now we're back to where we were. Now with this table here, I'm just going to say width 100%. And now the table looks 20 times better. Now we have our name with our names here, job with our jobs, and the pay with our pay. Now something you can also take note of is if we were to take away one of these columns here, like this, you'll actually notice one is a little bit longer than the other. I believe this is dependent on which has the longest things here. So if we were to make this mic a little bit longer, you'll notice this takes up more space than job. So this spacing here is determined by the length of the text in here. That's actually more HTML rather than CSS, but just something you might want to take note of. Now you might notice all these double borders here. Some may not like it. I think it looks pretty cool, but you could also go border collapse, and you just specify collapse. And it will collapse the borders onto each other, so it looks like one singular border. Some will like this more than others. Now since we can mess with the width here, we can also mess with the height. So let's say we select th. If we select th, we can say height is equal to, let's say, 50 pixels. And now the height will be nice and big. So we're selecting the table header and just resizing the height here. You can also do some alignment, because as you can see, the jack here is kind of there at the left, same with coding and pay. It's pretty simple if we just go td here. So select the table data, which is usually inside of the rows. And we say text align center. And that will align the text to the center, or if you wanted to the right. Now you can also make this look a little bit better. But instead of just giving all of them a border, we're instead selecting just th and td here, and setting the border bottom. And it really looks pretty cool, but if you want to make it look a little bit more like the Bootstrap version, you could go here and just change the coloring to something a bit lighter, and now it would look really futuristic. And of course you could as well put some padding here, so padding 10 pixels to make it look cooler. That might be a little bit big, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. And since we now know how to use hover, if we were to go tr:hover, then we can go background color, and we can make it the same as the one here. So if we hover over it, it will be easy to read. We can even say, once we hover over it, our pointer, or our cursor, not our pointer, our cursor should be a pointer. So now our cursor will point when we hover over it. And as we know with the pseudo classes, we can also go, and let's just remove this cursor and Yeah, so we can just go tr nth children or child even. So what this is saying, on every even value here, so every even row, what we want to do is we want to change the background color of that one to, and let's choose something AAA. There we go. And of course, if we were to just move this here, then now the hovering will also work. So for every second child starting at the first one, or starting at the second one, because remember this is also a table row. Take a look here, table row. So every even child, so 1, 2 is an even number, so row 2 will have that color. 3 is not an even number, it will not have that color. And then finally 4 is an even number, so it will have that color. And then we can maybe make the top here background color, and let's maybe make it aquamarine. And now the top here will be a nice aquamarine color. Now let's say we had a ton of rows. So I'm just going to decrease the number of rows here, or more columns. So let's say pay, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we added 12. So now we have a lot. And just so we know where the end is, I'm going to say 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And here I'm going to go lol. So you'll notice the end is all the way here, which is pretty far. So what we could do is we could go here to, you'll notice this margin div we have around the table. And we can go hashtag margin, that is a class, right? ID, yep it is. And we say overflow x auto. And now that scrolling is contained to this specific table. So if we were to remove this, we have to scroll the page, which is not ideal. But by just adding this one line, and I see a lot of older websites didn't add this line, but by just adding this one line, the page doesn't scroll left to right, but just the table. Something very important, and I still see some websites even today don't implement this. And that is that for this tutorial. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all again in the next CSS tutorial.